from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. Welcome to the National News broadcast coming to you live from the National News Studios here at Rupavahini. I'm Kasani Balachandra. Joining me is Zuvin Hettiarachi. Let's start off with a quick look at your headlines.
The President says it is a serious offence and against the law to use children as shields in processions. 2.3 million applications have been submitted for the Speedy program to provide benefits to low-income families. Victor Ivan says a deep-rooted reconstruction program has to be commenced in order to make Janasabha system a practical reality. University lecturers say it is a responsibility of the lecturers as well as students to end ragging. A tray of flowers has been auctioned for 1.1 million rupees in a fair. Mahathir Mohamad once again enters politics. An Aboriginal player wins gold medal at a national athletic tournament.
We move on to those and other stories in detail. And in your top local story tonight, President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that it is a serious offence according to the law of the country to bring children to processions in order to use them as a cover-up.
The President has made these observations participating in a special discussion on safeguarding children's rights and human rights at the President's office this morning. He has further pointed out that the speedy measures will have to be taken to prevent small children to being used in processions.
දරුවන් ආරක්ෂා කරනවා. දැන් තියෙන නීතිය තවත් අපිට බලන්නේ තියෙන ආරක්ෂා මොකද්ද? විශේෂයෙන්ම කුඩා දරුවන් පෙළපාලි වලට ගෙනියන එක නවත්වන්න.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe has inquired on the existing laws available to protect children. He has pointed out that present laws will have to be further strengthened, especially to prevent children being used in processions. The children are being used in processions not because they could be left alone in the house. The agitated are using them as shields, as Prabhakaran did the same. The President has further stated the police should be informed to spot up this practice. If it is not halted, every would carry their children to protests. The President has also said, according to the 27th clause and the 13th sub-clause of the Constitution, the government should take special care to prevent children and adolescents being socially and psychologically used in activities to fulfill selfish ambitions. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has given instructions in this regard to the police as well. He has also focused special attention on educational activities and safeguarding children's rights. The President has instructed relevant officials to identify children with special needs staying in children's homes and to submit him a report in this regard. President has also looked into the fact that separating children from parents when families are being arrested on charges of illegal migration to India. He has informed this practice should immediately be rectified and children and parents should be kept together. State Minister Geetha Kumarasinghe, President Secretary Saman Ekanayake and other government officials also participated in the discussion. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that in Sri Lankan nationals get caught when trying to illegally migrate to India, they are being detained in Mana. However, the children and parents are being separated from each other in detention. The police say they have not been given proper order in this connection. The children's rights stipulate that children and parents should not be separated at all times. President has reiterated the need on drafting new legislation on child abuse.
අනික්පා ප්ලෑන් කරලා රිපෝට් එකක් දෙන්න කොහොමද කරන්න කියන්නේ විශේෂඥයන්ගේ කොමිටියක් පත් කරන්න මේවා දිහා බලලා ඒ තව මාස 6කින් ඒවත් දෙන්න කියලා. ඉතින් මේක කරගෙන යන්න දැන්. දැන් මේක පටන් ගත්තාම මේක ආපහු වෙයි තැනෙම අනික් හැම එක්කෙනාම කරයි. ඊට පස්සේ මොකක් වුණොත් ඒකට කෑ ගහන්න වෙනවා. එක ළමෙක්ට මොකක් හරි වුණොත් ලොකු මේකක් යනවනේ.
The Welfare Benefits Board says it has received until today 2.3 million applications for the Integrated Welfare Benefits Program of low-income families set up under the instructions of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The theme of the program is not to leave out anybody from the program. It has also been pointed out that out of this number of applications, 624,714 have been fed into the system. The feeding program is being expeditiously carried out by the Welfare Beneficiary Information Units established at 341 officers of the Divisional Secretariat Division island-wide. Initially, the program is being implemented as a pilot project centering upon several Divisional Secretariat Division officers in the Colombo district. The general public were reported to have joined the program with great interest. As a result, in addition to the 3.3 million families in the waiting lists for welfare benefits, a further group of low-income families affected by economic crisis and the second wave of COVID-19 were able to be incorporated into the program. 600,000 families recorded as low-income groups by the United Nations Development Program are also entitled to apply for the program. It has been estimated that 3.9 million families would apply for the social welfare program. The first stage of the program is to be conducted under 6 stages. Simultaneously, the second stage is also being carried forward. The Welfare Benefits Board said the next stage of the program is to approach domestic units to compile data. Some of the recipients, adults, persons with disabilities, kidney patients are also among those who are in the list seeking benefits. Model applications for registration have been published on the 30th of August 2022. Nearly 100,000 applications have been included in the database by the 29th of September 2022. However, in response to a request made by the President's Media Unit, from all media institutions, a total number of 2.3 million applications have been received.
In the meantime, veteran media person Victor Ivan says that if the Janasabha system needs to be implemented on a practical basis, a deep-rooted reconstruction program will have to be recommenced in the country. He pointed out that only through such reforms that the program would become a reality. It has been proposed to set up a Janasabha system in every Grama Seva division and to also appoint a president and a committee under the program. It has also been proposed to convene a national Janasabha without any discrimination on nationality in a manner to establish the representation of youth, women and adults. It has also been proposed to select 75% of the members of the Sabha via personal sampling system and remaining 25% via village communities. The selection professionals, trade union and the national level civil and political activists are being proposed through a random process. Active people's participation is to be consolidated through national level policy implementation through the Janasabha.
මේක ජය ගැනීමට අවශ්‍ය කාරණා 10ක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් අවශ්‍ය වෙයි. ඒ 10 මොකක්ද? ඒ 10 කොහොමද හරියට ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්නේ? ඒ සඳහා ආණ්ඩුවේ අනුමැතිය.
University lecturers as well as the students are entrusted with the responsibility of eliminating ragging. They further point out that the universities must present a program to prevent the menace, in addition to the legal procedures.
විශ්වවිද්‍යාල හෙට දවස හදන්න නම් අපට පුළුවන් වෙන්නට ඕනේ
Head of the Faculty of Law of the Sri Lanka Open University, senior lecturer Nadish De Silva said that ragging is an illegal act. He further said that if such an activity is being conducted within the university system, they themselves as lecturers thoroughly condemn the incident. It is a strong responsibility of the students as well as the lecturers to get rid of ragging. Students are the future generation of the country. They should be given a clear understanding on the situation and ways of implementing the laws. Head of the Physics Division of the Columbia University, Professor Chandana Jaratna said that students as individuals are good in nature. However, when they get together into groups, they become different beings. The professor further said that this is a collective responsibility.
වර්ක ගන්න වෙන වෙන විවිධ වැඩසටහන් හඳුන්වලා දෙන්නත් ඕනේ. ඔය අතරතුර පරික්ෂාකාරී වෙන්න එකත් ගොඩාක් වැදගත්. ඒ කියන්නේ මේක සාමූහික වගකීමක්. ශිෂ්‍යයන්ගේ සහ ආචාර්යවරුන්ගේ.
The Female Parliamentarians Forum has requested the Speaker to increase the women's representation in the National Council. The letter carrying this request was handed over to the Speaker recently. The National Council has been set up according to a proposal of Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. The president of the Female Parliamentarians Forum, Mrs. Sudarshani Fernandes-Pulle, has handed over the letter including the proposal to Speaker Mahindayapa Abeyewardena. According to the consensus reached on the proposal of the establishment of a national council, naming of 28 members out of the membership of 35 has already been completed. The forum in this letter has also requested to give more opportunities to female parliamentarians in naming the remaining members of the National Council.
Thilini Priyamali, who was involved in a massive financial fraud by maintaining an office at the World Trade Center in Fort Colombo, deceiving billionaire entrepreneurs, was brought under the security squadron to the World Trade Center today. She was accompanied by prison officials and officials of the Criminal Investigation Department. The relevant documents in the office are scheduled to be taken under the custody of the CID for further investigations. Police media spokesman Senior SP Nihal Thalduwa says that if there's any person who was deceived by the fraud of Thilini Priyamali, they should contact the police. Police media spokesman Senior SP Nihal Thalduwa said that according to the complaints received by the CID, the amount of money misappropriated exceeded 2.5 billion rupees. She has been deceiving numerous persons since the commencement of the racket.
The distribution of urea fertilizer stocks for all districts in the initial application of the fertilizer for the paddy cultivation in Maha season has commenced.
Minister Mahinda Amaravira has disclosed this fact at a progress evaluation meeting held at the Ministry of Agriculture yesterday. The government-owned commercial fertilizer company and the Lanka fertilizer company have taken measures to dispatch the urea fertilizer stocks as requested by the farmer organizations to the agrarian service centers. The proposed extent of cultivation of paddy in this Maha season is 814,678 hectares. In the period commencing from the 29th of September to the 10th of October, the Colombo Commercial Company has distributed 11,283 metric tons of urea fertilizer to 7 districts in the country. The Ceylon Fertilizer Company has distributed a quantity of 11,698 metric tons of fertilizer. As in the previous Yala season, a 50-kilogram bag of urea fertilizer is being sold for 10,000 rupees in the upcoming Maha season as well. On a district-wise basis, 176 to 230 kilograms of fertilizer are being provided. Minister Mahinda Amaravira said that the 14-day application of fertilizer has already been provided. The minister said that fertilizer needed for maize will also be provided. He further said that taking into consideration of the previous experiences, a new methodology has been introduced in the cultivation procedure. A credit facility of 20,000 rupees is being provided for a farmer for an extent of 1 hectare for land.
ගැටලුවක් ඇති වෙන්නේ දෙවනි මුරේට අවශ්‍ය පොර ටික ලබා දෙන්න පුළුවන් අද දිනේ ලැබෙන පිළිතුරත් එක්ක මේ රටේ ගොවියට අපි බාල පොර.
Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says village development-based community water supply projects extend direct contribution for the strengthening of the government food security program as well as the program to provide pure drinking water to people.
The Prime Minister made these remarks while inspecting a Suvadivya community water centre in Thunkulam, Embelipitiya yesterday. The Prime Minister has expressed his appreciation over the contributions being made by water projects for the development of 12 villages in addition to task of providing pure drinking water. The aim of the community water project is to strengthen the community-based economy by extending facilities to all relevant groups. This program has been originated in the year 2007 according to a concept of the then Minister of Water Supply, Dinesh Gunawardena. The project has now been extended to supply water to around 2,700 families. The centre is also involved in providing loans and general public at low interest rate as well as handing over scholarship aid. In addition, it is also engaging in repairing public spaces, extending assistance to kidney and cancer patients and providing financial aid up to 3,000 rupees to those engaged in self-employment projects. The community water supply projects test sample of the water in water wells and other water resources at concessionary rates using the latest laboratory techniques. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena has stated that it would be possible to fulfill the targets of the sustainable development through provision of drinking water of the Suwadevia Community Water Centre. Other representatives and many community-based organizations has also attended the event.
Steps have been taken to temporarily relocate families who have been illegally occupying a land known as Galkoria in Abepussa, owned by the Department of Railways. Minister Dr. Bandara Gunawardena, during an inspection tour of the stone quarry and the illegal residents today, said the measures has been taken in the interest of the lives of the destitute families. The stone required by the railway tracks throughout the island are being supplied by the quarry based at the historic Abepussa railway station. The entire extent of the yard is 17 hectares. The minister has further pointed out that a large number of families have been residing at the location for generations. Minister Mrs. Kokila Gunawardena has also participated in the tour.
Minister Dr. Kehelia Rupavahini says measures will be taken to reduce the state of malnutrition among children in the country. He further expressed opinion in this regard at a mental health exhibition in Bambalapitiya today. The event was organized by the Colombo Research and Parapsychological Science Institution in connection with the World Mental Health Day, which fell on the 10th of this month. The exhibition is being held at Colombo Research and Psychological Science Institute in Bambalapitiya from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. until the 15th of this month.
United National Party parliamentarian Vajra Abeyewardene says frauds and corruption in the country could be stopped through a constitutional revision. Parliamentarian Vajra Abeyewardene said at a media briefing in Colombo yesterday that political stability is extremely important. The political stability established by President Ranil Wickremesinghe would enable to make the necessary amendments with the members in Parliament. Our shortcoming should be corrected. The proportional representation is the basis of the democratic procedure introduced by late President J.R. Jayawardena through the 1978 Constitution.
The Department of Meteorology predicts intermittent rains or thunder showers in the districts of Galle and Mathura and also in the provinces of Western, Northwestern, Central and Sabaragamu. In certain locations in the Western, Central, Uva and Sabaragamu provinces as well as in Galle, Mathura districts, rainfall exceeding 100 millimeters could be expected. Colombo, Galle, Kandy, Nuwara districts would expect heavy rainfall tomorrow. The sea areas around the island would turn rough and rainfall in such places may occur in the evening or at night.
A new solar power project was declared open in a 40-acre land in Navattakadu in Batiklo recently. The project got underway with the participation of Minister Kanchana Wijesekara, hopes to add 10 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. State Minister of Finance Shehan Semasinghe has attended the G24 ministerial meeting which is being conducted on the sidelines of the annual sessions of the IMF and the World Bank. State Minister Shehan Semasinghe has conducted talks with Deputy Managing Director of the IMF, Geeta Gopinath, yesterday in Washington, USA. Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, was also present. Special discussion on the plantation industry, other industries and investment promotion was held in Colombo yesterday. Minister Ramesh Pathirana said on this occasion that opportunities for investments will be broad, based by safeguarding national resources. A program to expand the production capacity at the Chennai paper mill is being implemented. State Minister Chamarasampath Dasanayake was engaged in an inspection tour at the factory yesterday. Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva has conducted talks with Ambassador of Nepal, Bashudev Mishra, over the commencement of a direct flight between Colombo and Lumbini in Nepal. Currently, Sri Lankan Airlines is conducting flights up to Kathmandu.
A news item pertaining to the selling of a tray of flowers for more than 1.1 million rupees has been informed from Dambulla. The final bid at an auction at Pushparaha Maharame Viharaya in Dambulla for the tray of flowers was 1.1 million rupees. A fair has been organized to raise funds for the reconstruction of Dhamma Sermon Hall of the Viharaya. The fundraiser who conducted the fair and auctioning was reported to have fallen sick after the declaration of the final price of the item. We'll be back with foreign news after a short break.
Welcome back, and in your foreign news tonight, one of the world's most seasoned politician, Mahathir Mohamad, is to run for parliament in Malaysia's general election, even though he is 97. Mr. Mahathir has been Prime Minister of Malaysia twice, the first time for a 22-year stint. He was appointed again in 2018 when he was 92. He was in hospital earlier this year with a heart condition but says he is now well enough to defend his seat. He has not said whether he will be Prime Minister in his alliance, rather if his alliance wins. Malaysia's parliament was dissolved on Monday, paving the way for a general election which the government hopes will end political instability after one of the world's biggest financial scandals involving a government fund known as 1MDB. Mr. Mahathir first became a member of parliament in 1964. He is widely credited for Malaysia's rapid economic development and transformation from the 1980s. In 2018, he came out of retirement in a bid to take down former Prime Minister Najib Razak, who had been accused of embezzling hundreds of millions of dollars in state funds. With the help of former rival Anwar Ibrahim, Mr. Mahathir was voted in again as the country's Prime Minister, while Mr. Najib was charged and eventually jailed on charges of money laundering and abuse of power. But the alliance proved unable to withstand the weight of internal rivalries, and in February 2020, Mr. Mahathir found himself ousted. The 97-year-old has a history of heart trouble and has had heart attacks and bypass surgeries. He was discharged from hospital only last month after being admitted with COVID-19. Sports news after this break.
இப்படி பண்றிடா இப்படி அல்பங்கள்
Prima Katumi Fantamai.
Welcome back, and in your sports news tonight, the New Zealand team has beaten Bangladesh team in a T20 match played in Christchurch yesterday. In a triangular tournament between Bangladesh, New Zealand and Pakistan, the New Zealand had scored 208 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. In reply, the Bangladesh team was able to score only 160 runs.
So he makes a mistake. Everett has him. Bolden. Yes,
India won by 7 wickets the third one-day match against South Africa in Delhi yesterday. South Africa at the end of 27 overs and 1 delivery has scored 99 runs. India won the match in 19 overs by scoring 105 runs for the loss of 3 wickets.
That's gone up. Mark Chapman coming in. And that will finish the 20 overs with Bangladesh one.
Series, the one-day series. He's now gone though. Let's pick that up.
The Aboriginal competitor Thala Warigae Ratnapala has bagged a gold medal in the men's marathon event at the National Sports Festival. This was the first event of an Aboriginal player winning a national level competition. The 47th National Sports Festival Marathon events were conducted in Gampaha on Saturday. The first place in the 42-kilometre distance race was won by Ratnapala, representing the Eastern Province. He's a resident of the Aboriginal settlement in Dehiyattakandia. His coach, Sajid Dayalal, says a 10-year commitment of the competitor has contributed to the success.
இப்படி வந்திட இப்படி அல்பங்கள்
Prima Katumi Fantamai.
Conclude tonight's English news on Rupavahini. And with that, we conclude tonight's English news on Rupavahini. We'll see you tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.